National Corporate Partners, BlueScope and Taubmans, Alspec, Dulux and Brickworks, Bondor Techno, Lysart, Fielders and Bosch, Plan Cover and Architecture Media, as well as the WA Chapter Partners, Rondo, Midland Brick, Mondoluce, Living Edge, FMC Homeguard and the Heritage Council.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 WA Architecture Awards. It's great to be back celebrating architecture across Western Australia. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of lands across Western Australia. I acknowledge the wisdom of elders past and present and pay my respect to communities. And to begin the awards announcements with a welcome to country, I'd like to introduce Matthew Maguire, representative of Wadjuk Elders of the Noongar Nation.
Kaya nanaka yak nanaka maman nanaka bidioa nijana nyenin ba nganya juro nijana kolin ba nijana wanju nanaka ye boja ngala boja ngala ka mort ba boja nganya mamanga demanga weir nijana kolin ba ngala ka juro ba nijana wanju nanaka nganya jada wangin ba ja mort nijana boja. Hello ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests. It's my honour to stand here on behalf of my mum and God, my grandmothers and grandfathers. Welcome you to the land of the Wadjuk people. I welcome you in the first language of the first people of this country. Ngalaka murtwa, nijana nyenima, kora. Ngalaka nijana nyenima, yay. Borewanma, ngalaka kulunga, nijana nyenin. Ngan kulunga, nona kulunga, nijana nyenima, ja nyenin. This is a land that my family have occupied for thousands of years. It is a land that we occupy today. It is a land that we will occupy for thousands of years to come. My children, my children's children, your children, and your children's children. Living here together on this beautiful land that we call home. I would like to leave you with a song, ladies and gentlemen. This song is one that called Wanare Amalana. And it sings of the spider out of Karkarap, Kings Park, and how the spider web sifts out all the bad stuff to allow the good stuff to go through so you and I can enjoy our time and of safety here on Wadjuk country. Wanare gamalana, wanare gamalana, boyongoda, waningo, boyongoda, waningo, wanare gamalana, boyongoda. Wanare gamalana, boyongoda, wanengo, boyongoda, wanengo, wanare gamalana, boyongoda, wanengo. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful night here tonight with the awards night, and congratulations to all the winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Well, this afternoon's announcements are part of the Institute's National Awards series, recognising the exceptional work of the Institute's members. But before we move on to the main award categories, we have a series of announcements to make that are specific to the WA chapter. And the first of these is the inaugural Brian Kidd Enabling Architecture Prize, supported by category partner Alspec. The jury for this prize was chaired by Peter Ruliadev, and he was joined by fellow jurors Lara McIntosh and Tony Neck. And before we move on to the announcement, it's my pleasure to introduce Colin Nyland from Elspec, who sent through this message.
Good afternoon, everyone. Elspec is delighted to be supporting the WA Architecture Awards for the first time this year, and in particular the Brian Kidd Architecture Prize in its inaugural year. I'd like to acknowledge the many exceptional projects that the jury considered, and it's a pleasure to hand over to the WA Chapter President Sandy Anghie to say a few words and announce the winner.
Thank you to everyone who has tuned in to watch the WA Architecture Awards in WA and beyond, and good luck to everyone who has entered this year. As always, this year's awards showcase the incredible contribution that West Australian architects make in shaping our city and our state, with a diverse range of innovative projects across the award categories. From reimagined public places and spaces to environment-responsive homes and state-of-the-art education precincts, the entrants show a commitment to sustainability and the environment. Each year we honour projects that focus on people as much as they do design. So in this spirit, I'm pleased to announce a new prize this year, the Brian Kidd Enabling Architecture Prize. This new prize is named in honour of Brian James Kidd AM, a highly respected architect, teacher and access consultant. Brian was tireless in his campaign for accessible environments for all and home-like environments for older people in residential aged care. This is a particularly timely issue and one which the Institute is proud to champion through this prize. And so, for the Brian Kidd Enabling Architecture Prize in 2022, a commendation has been awarded to the Kids Bridge, Kulanka Bridge by Fratelli and Brownlee Ernst & Marks. And the named award goes to Rocky Bay Girraween by KPA Architects. Congratulations everyone.
This project sets a wonderful precedent and new benchmark for residential facilities of its type, putting the residents' lifestyles and their support requirements front and centre. It demonstrates a generous response to the various needs of this user group beyond the high level of support required. The layers of complexity and sensitivity in the design for the residents, staff and operators show compassion and consideration of the end user in every step of the process, in keeping with the values for which Brian Kidd was such a strong advocate, and making this project a most worthy recipient of the inaugural Brian Kidd Enabling Architecture Prize. Congratulations, KPA Architect. Well, congratulations indeed. And on behalf of the Institute, I'd like to acknowledge and extend a very warm welcome to Brian Kidd's family if you're watching today. And now to the WA Architect Registration Board Award. And it's my pleasure to hand over to the Board Chair, Isla McRobbie, to announce this year's winner.
As the Chair of the Architects Board of WA, I'm honoured to be part of the Institute's awards ceremony and to announce the winner of the 2022 Board Award. 2022 is of particular significance for the Board as it celebrates its centenary. The Board was established by the Architects Act 1921 and met for the first time on 23rd of March 1922. WA was the first state in Australia to establish such a board, and 100 years later the Board continues to play an integral role in the regulation of the profession. Each year, the Board presents the Board Award in recognition of an architect registered in WA whose attitudes and personal contributions to the profession and community have enhanced public confidence in the standing of the profession or has promoted public awareness of the profession. It is not intended that the award should simply recognise a successful architectural career, but rather it is an award to recognise special endeavours outside of those considered to be the normal business activities of an architect. The 2022 recipient's personal contribution to the profession exemplifies the special endeavours that the Board Award is designed to celebrate. Through her prolific involvement in media, committees, board positions and general advocacy for the profession, she has greatly enhanced community awareness of architects and architecture. Her engagement with the community outside of her own busy practice is impressive, and her commitment to gender equity in the profession is second to none. She was the first female president of the Institute's WA chapter and is a valued mentor to many young professional women. It gives me very great pleasure to present the 2022 Board Award to Susie Hunt.
I'm thrilled and honoured to be the recipient of the 2022 Architects Board Award in the 40th year since its inception. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the previous winners who've inspired me and encouraged me to speak out and get involved. The late Iris Rosen, Caroline Marshall and Kate Hislop, Warren Kerr, Philip Griffiths and my dad, the late Peter Hunt, who would have loved this. I also want to thank the 20 architects that took the time to support my nomination, including my nominator and chief cheerleader, Neil Cowney. I have lived with and within architecture quite literally all my life. As architects, we have a unique opportunity born from our design thinking skills and empathy to be pivotal in shaping and advocating for our communities and the built environment. But we also have a significant role advocating for each other and for our profession. Together, we are stronger. I fell into advocacy, but it has given me so much more than I could have ever imagined. High-profile roles in the media and television have been a wonderful surprise for sure. But it's the people, especially the amazing women I have met, mentored and collaborated with, that are my most precious memories. As noted recently by the Institute's National President, Tony Giannone, construction is the most male-dominated industry with the second worst pay gap. Along with issues such as climate change, there is still so much for us to do and advocate for. I urge you to get involved. Thank you again to the Architects Board of WA. It's an honour.
Hear, hear, Susie. Congratulations indeed, and thank you so much, Isla. Well, the next announcement is the Emerging Architect Prize, supported by BlueScope, and we'll be hearing from Ian Toe very shortly. This prize recognises an individual or collaboration's contribution to architectural practice, education, design excellence and community involvement, advancing the profession's role within the public arena. The jury was chaired by Sandy Anghie, and she was joined by Ada Musa, Louise Ward and Ahmed El Sayed. And it's my great pleasure to announce that the 2022 Emerging Architect Prize is awarded to Matt Delroy Carr, Director of MDC Architects. Matt Delroy Carr's fundamental belief is that architecture should be for everyone and that good design is central to an improved quality of life. With a focus on infill housing accessible to the wider community, Matt has completed the design and documentation of several residential projects in Perth. He was also one of the contributors to the state government's draft medium-density design guidelines, which aim to improve the design quality of medium-density housing and address the need for greater housing diversity and choice. Matt has also been a sessional staff member at the University of Western Australia since 2009 and continues to coordinate design studios in the undergraduate degree. Congratulations, Matt Delroy Carr. And let's get underway with our very first live cross of the night. I'm joined now by Matt. Matt, congratulations.
Thanks very much. How are you going?
I'm really good. I'm really good. This is a very laid-back start to the awards. Whereabouts are you this evening?
Currently at my kids' soccer practice in the rain. So this is completely unbeknown to me that I was going to get this award.
Oh, well, look, I'm very glad you picked up the call, Matt. That's always good to be able to have a quick chat with the winner. And I hope the kids aren't too upset you've taken your attention away from the soccer there.
Well,
look, first of all, I have to ask you... Oh, good, right. Now, Matt, firstly, how does it feel to receive the Emerging Architect Prize?
It's amazing. It's such an honour, and I really appreciate the recognition of peers and the industry and the Institute. It's fantastic. I actually had, I suppose I felt that my contribution was less, it wasn't broad enough, and it didn't really deal with enough sort of outside aspects, and I guess we've been trying to work on that in the practice and myself, and it's obviously paid off.
Well, look, it's certainly a chance as the recipient of the EAP to advocate for issues that you're particularly passionate about. Are there any issues that you're keen to champion now that you have been announced as the Emerging Architect?
Absolutely. I'm wholeheartedly committed to housing affordability and housing diversity in the state, and really, really keen on exploring what medium density has to offer the broader community and how we can contribute as architects. I mean, we've got such a broad and deep knowledge of the industry that, you know, our ability to coordinate and contribute and sort of, I guess, start topics, start discussions is really, really relevant, and that's something that we really want to work on, the practice and myself collectively. I think we're all broadly across that.
Yeah, well, hear, Matt. Certainly a very, very timely issue. Do you also have a message maybe for your peers watching not only across WA but indeed Australia?
Stick to what you enjoy. I think it's a tricky profession and it's so diverse. There are so many aspects to it. Focus on what's important to you, and yeah, I know it's cliche, but I guess stick to it and it'll pay off.
Very good advice. And anyone that you'd like to acknowledge or thank before I let you get back to the soccer?
I should probably thank my wife for being so patient with me. She's not an architect, and everyone always says it must be tricky not having been married to an architect, so I appreciate her patience and ability to deal with my ups and downs.
Oh, well, look, on that note, Matt, I'll let you get back to the soccer. I hope the kids do well there tonight. And look, congratulations once again to you. Have a fabulous night.
Thanks very much. You too.
Moving on now to the main awards categories, where the juries can bestow 3 types of recognition. Commendations are recognitions of excellence. Awards are given to projects that are exceptional in design and in execution. And named awards are the highest honour that can be bestowed in each category. Now, if you've joined us for previous live streams, you'll know that we'll be aiming to cross live to the winners of the named awards today. So if you're an entrant, remember to stay close to Skype during the stream, as we'd love to have a quick conversation about your winning projects. Now, each of the 13 main awards categories has been assessed by a jury of peers, who I'll be introducing throughout the night. Their work was overseen by the WA Chair of Juries, Simon Pendal. And to share his comments on the 2022 awards, it's my pleasure to hand over to Simon.
Hi everyone, I'm delighted to address you tonight as this year's Chair of Juries. Thoughtful architecture is one way in which society can be served with great affection. At our best, our profession operates with empathy and intellect, with feeling and thinking, prefacing these before self-interest and excess. And this year's winners do just this. Our future challenge is always to be better than we are at any given moment. We know that we need to confront our histories and better respect our lands and its peoples. We also know that the move from linear to cyclical economies will be necessary and will in part be achieved by listening to our lands and its peoples, reacquainting ourselves with the natural world and its beauty. And so, as this year's Chair of Juries, I offer a couple of observations on this year's process. I witnessed an institute staff who gave this process everything, with the utmost care and diligence. I saw an institute with a commitment to celebrating our very best professional behaviours. I witnessed volunteerism on a large scale, patient, willing to serve, to listen, to be ethical and work collectively. I saw a great variety of projects and ideas to which the members of our profession commit themselves. And of course, I saw our profession's constant struggle with its own imperfections, or can I say inadequacies, with the desire for improvement hardwired into all of us. So, I'd like to say thank you to the Institute, its staff, our members, all award entrants, jury members and their chairs, and the University of Notre Dame. Congratulations to the winners of 2022.
Well, thanks so much, Simon. We'll get underway with the first category, the COLORBOND Award for Steel Architecture, which is also supported by BlueScope. This jury was chaired by Georgina Willis, and fellow jurors were Ian Toe from BlueScope, Peter Kellerman from Cameron Chisholm Nicol, and Kim McCormack from McCormack Architects. And it's my pleasure to introduce Ian Toe from BlueScope to say a few words and introduce the nominees.
Thanks, Viv. It is great to be here once again celebrating architectural excellence in Western Australia. BlueScope is a proud, long-standing supporter of the Institute's efforts to build awareness about the importance of good architecture and how good design adds value to our community. On behalf of BlueScope, I would like to thank you for using COLORBOND steel in your amazing projects. I would also like to wish all entrants good luck and to congratulate all the winners. And now, let's take a look at the projects in the running for this year's COLORBOND Award for Steel Architecture.
Bunbury Senior High School Cafeteria by Kent Lyon Architect. Mother Seton Centre by Parry and Rosenthal Architects. Mundaring Christian College by TRCB. And RFBYC Dinghy and Training Centre by MJA Studio. 4 great projects there, and thanks for those comments, Ian. In this category, the jury have awarded a commendation to Mother Seton Centre by Parry and Rosenthal Architects. Congratulations to Parry and Rosenthal Architects. And the 2022 COLORBOND Award for Steel Architecture goes to RFBYC Dinghy and Training Centre by MJA Studio. This highly refined project with its distinct roof provides a highly functional building within a beautifully detailed yet restrained form. The composition of sliding perforated metal screens with glazing oriented to river views is a nod to the site's architectural heritage, while steel framing enables large clear spans expressed and well detailed in selected locations. Congratulations, MJA Studio. And we've just been trying to get MJA Studio on the line. We can see them but can't hear them. So look, congratulations once again to the team, and we'll move on. And now to Urban Design, supported by Midland Brick. The jury was chaired by Eamon Broderick from TRCB, and fellow jurors were Clive Bergamaschi from Midland Brick, Jessica Hames from Hames Charlie, and Mandy Leung from Space Collective. And it's my pleasure to introduce Clive Bergamaschi from Midland Brick to say a few words and introduce the nominees.
Hi, my name's Clive Bergamaschi. It's time for the Urban Design category, proudly sponsored by Midland Brick. Good luck to all the entrants. Now let's take a look at the nominees.
AGWA Elevate by TAG and FJMT Studio. Kids Bridge, Kolanka Bridge by Frattel and Brownlee Ernst and Marks. And Walyalup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects, KHA. 3 great projects there, and thanks so much for that message, Clive. In the category of Urban Design, the jury have awarded a commendation to Kids Bridge, Kolanka Bridge by Frattel and Brownlee Ernst and Marks, Beam. Congratulations to the team. And the highest honour for this category, the John Septimus Rowe Award for Urban Design, goes to Walyalup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects. The Walyalup Civic Centre is a beautifully designed building that is effortless in its simplicity, a place that is intuitive to enjoy and welcoming to its community. The resolution of a complex program allows public access through the building at varying times over multiple levels, in a manner that lifts expectations and then delivers. The jury noted that the north-facing shaded grass terrace is already home to several community events, music and theatre performances, lots of lunches and even a few political protests. Fremantle residents are making it their own. Congratulations, Kerry Hill Architects, KHA. And I'm absolutely delighted to be joined now by Patrick Koski and Sean McGivern and the team. Congratulations, guys. How does it feel?
Yay.
Now, Patrick, it's only a year since I spoke to you about another named award-winning project, the Bilyamali UWA project. Congratulations on this accolade. Now, look, listening to the jury comments, I think it's hard to understate the transformative impact of this particular project. Can you give us a sense of what it was like to work on?
Yeah, thank you for that, and thank you very much to the jury and the Institute. Just want to echo Simon's comments about the Institute working so hard this year to get all the visits and things organised. Look, this was a fantastic project. We were really delighted to win the design competition 8 years ago for this project. It's been a long journey since then. The City of Fremantle have, I think, gone through a process here, a very robust and rigorous process that's delivered a great design outcome, starting with a whole lot of public consultation to get ideas from the community about what they want, through an architectural competition, standing by the jury of that competition and standing by the architects to deliver this project. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's had its ups and downs. We've had, COVID impacts and all of those things, but it's been a great outcome, and it's great to hear the jury comments about it being a place for Fremantle and the community of Fremantle. That was our objective, and we want the community to own this building.
Well, it's looking, at least from some of those images, as though they already are. But can I ask you, what do you hope the long-term legacy will be of this project?
I think it's funny, we were having this chat today, Sean and I, about, I guess, Fremantle is known for its beautiful heritage buildings. We would really like this building to be future heritage, to be something that future generations, we hope for longevity for this building, and we hope future generations get the opportunity to, I guess, retain it for one thing and enjoy it. So, yeah.
And I imagine there were probably a fair few people you'd like to thank, many of them in the room with you, I'm guessing. But is there anyone you'd like to acknowledge in particular?
Yeah, well, look, obviously staff in general, but in particular Anna, Hurchin and Ryan, who were involved in the delivery of the project. From a client's point of view, obviously Mayor Brad Pettit, who was Mayor for quite a long period of time in the evolution of the project, along with Russell Kingdom, the project director, and Graham Tattersall, and a great builder who's joined us tonight. So he's just popped through the door. So a lad called Logan Joyce, who helped us through. So yeah, look, a great team, great client, and I think architecture should be encouraged by that these great clients are out there. And they want to produce these great urban designs, and thank you very much again.
Well, wonderful. Look, on that note, I will leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening. Congratulations once again, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Viv. See you.
The next category is commercial architecture, supported by Rondo. The jury chair for this category was Carolyn Marshall, and she was joined by Kaylee Hyland from Rondo, Justin Carrier from Carper Studio, and Stephen Smith from Hunt Architects. And I'd like to hand over to Kaylee Hyland from Rondo to say a few words and introduce the nominees in this category.
Thanks, Viv, and hi everyone. We are really proud to once again be supporting this category, and it's been a pleasure to see so many high calibre projects entered into this year's awards. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for the ongoing support in specifying Rondo systems in your projects, and on behalf of Rondo, I'd like to wish all the entrants the very best of luck. There are 8 great projects in commercial architecture category, so let's take a look at the nominees.
251 Vista Green by Cox Architecture. EmAGN Group Headquarters by Hassel. Albany Hilton Garden Inn by Hodge Collard Preston Architects. Inglewood Retail Precinct by Brown Falconer. Karrinyup Shopping Centre by Haynes Charlie and TCRB. Links Kennedy Bay Golf Clubhouse by Gresley Abbas. Next DC He2 by Haynes Charlie. And Wolf Lane Office by Cox Architecture. Well, a very strong field of 8 nominees there, and we have several announcements ahead. The jury have awarded commendations for commercial architecture to Wolf Lane Office by Cox Architecture and Karrinyup Shopping Centre by Haynes Charlie and TCRB. Well, congratulations to the project teams. The jury have also awarded 2 awards in this category. The first goes to EmAGN Group Headquarters by Hassel. This is a highly considered work of urban architecture in which the influence of the architect can be seen beyond the boundaries of the site, making a positive contribution to the fabric of Leederville as it continues to evolve. Congratulations, Hassel! And an award for commercial architecture also goes to 251 Vista Green by Cox Architecture. The jury was impressed by the transformation of the entry and public interface of 251 Vista Green and the realisation of the core concepts, which reimagine and relate to its surrounding landscape, urban and heritage context, with both sensitivity and care. Congratulations to Cox Architecture. And the highest honour in this category, the Ross Chisholm and Gil Nicol Award for Commercial Architecture, is awarded to Links Kennedy Bay Golf Clubhouse by Gresley Abbas. The Links Clubhouse at Kennedy Bay is a precise insertion in the evolving landscape of this coastal suburb. The project has been oriented as a focal point and meeting place for the growing community, responding to the landscape of the golf course and the main urban axis of the future town centre. The Kennedy Bay Links Clubhouse is an exceptional example of collaboration between the architect, a committed client and the allied design disciplines to produce a building which will serve its community admirably for years to come. Congratulations, Gresley Abbas.
Hey.
And I'm delighted to be joined now by Phil Gresley and the team. Congratulations, guys.
Hey. Thanks, Viv. It's such a pleasure to have won this award. It's really exciting. I'm here with Lisa McGann and Jonathan Lake, who are just such an incredible design team. And when they're in the hands of Dave Roberts and Joe D'Alessandro from Place Developments, who have been such an extraordinary client, great things happen. And this is a super example of what can be done when everything lines up. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, it's been great working with you guys.
Oh, well, look, good on you. The jury clearly effusive in their praise for this project, Phil, and this is, of course, the named award for commercial architecture, but the jury do make specific reference of the urban and community benefit that you're delivering here as well. What role do you see this project playing into the future?
I want to talk to that.
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess when we first briefed Gresley Abbas, the project was all about this clubhouse really forming one of the bookends to the future town centre, and I think the architecture that's the resulting architecture is a really great result in providing that amenity to the future town centre and the community, and it's already being embraced by the local residents. So it's fantastic.
Excellent.
And the jury also mentioned the collaborative nature of this project. Is there anyone in particular that you'd like to acknowledge or thank who's been involved along the way?
We need to thank Greg James, who is the project architect on the project.
Shout out, Greg.
Yep. And also Leonie Edwards, who is our interior designer, who worked as part of the team as well.
And Tim Collier, who was instrumental in helping deliver the project.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jimbo.
Fantastic. And look, Phil, can I ask, as a practice, what does it mean to you to receive the highest honour in this category? You know, it was highly contested, some fantastic projects this year. What does it mean to you?
To be honest, I think it's really great to receive an award because it's a recognition of all of that hard work that's gone into the project. But what's the most rewarding is seeing the community and people interact and enjoy that project. And so, you know, you can go to the restaurant in the Kennedy Bay Golf Course building, Golf Club, and just see how everyone's really enjoying the place and the design and the quality of that place. And it's in changing the golf clubhouse from a couple of dongers to quite a beautiful building sitting in a coastal landscape has been quite a reward in itself.
Oh, well, look, good on you and everyone who was involved in this project, Phil, and I hope you guys are going to have a bit of a party getting started there soon, if it hasn't started already.
Well, you say that because we're all here having a great time.
Oh, wow. Well, look, on that note, I will leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
And we will be back very shortly with the next round of announcements after these messages from the Institute's corporate partners.
Out on the patio we'd sit, and the humidity we'd breathe. We'd watch the lightning crack over cane fields, laugh and think, this is Australia. This is Australia. This is Australia.
COLORBOND, made by Australia.
When specifying Rondo products, you have access to expert design advice from our own technical sales and professional engineers. Our team of engineers are all fully qualified and experienced in cold-formed steel design, as well as Australian and international standards. This includes seismic, acoustic and fire-rated design, external walls and soffit framing, walls and ceilings subject to internal pressures. Our website also provides specification templates, white papers and CAD files to download, or submit technical inquiries and register to CPD presentations. That's why we're behind the best buildings.
Established in 1974, Alspec is the market leader in the design and distribution of innovative aluminium systems across Australia. Aluminium is strong, lightweight and 100% recyclable. Alspec is committed to sustainability and building Australia's future.
Welcome back. And moving on to educational architecture, supported by FMC Homeguard. The jury was chaired by Jenny Officer from Officer Woods Architects, and the fellow jurors were Col McCormack from FMC Homeguard, Glenn Russell from Kerry Hill Architects, and Will Thompson from Site Architecture Studio. And it's my pleasure to hand over to Cole McCormack from FMC Homeguard, who's sent through this message.
Thanks, Viv, and hi, everyone. We're really proud to be supporting this category again this year, and on behalf of FMC Homeguard, I'd just like to wish all the entrants the best of luck. Now let's have a look at the nominees in the Education Architecture category.
Balcatta Senior High School Redevelopment by Hassel. Bunbury Senior High School Cafeteria by Kent Lyon Architect. Iona Presentation College Albius Fahey Building by EIW Architects. Chiara College Additions and Improvements by With Architecture Studio. Mother Seton Centre by Parry and Rosenthal Architects. And Mundaring Christian College by TRCB. Well, 6 great projects there, and thanks so much for that message, Cole. In this category, the jury have awarded a commendation to Mother Seton Centre by Parry and Rosenthal Architects. Congratulations once again to Parry and Rosenthal Architects. And an award for educational architecture goes to Chiara College Additions and Improvements by With Architecture Studio. This bold architectural response, which successfully transforms and rejuvenates this mid-1970s school, sits comfortably within the existing school fabric, reflective of the broad banded eaves of the original architectural language, while a balanced palette of materials provides clear legibility and architectural order to the built form. Congratulations, With Architecture Studio. And the jury have awarded the highest honour in this category, the Hilson Beasley Award for Educational Architecture to Balcatta Senior High School Redevelopment by Hassel. The architecture of Balcatta Senior High School redevelopment is cleverly defined through consideration of place, site and context. A deft planning gesture boldly extends the original campus spine and integrates disparate new teaching spaces, resulting in successful reorganisation and a compelling contemporary reimagining of the 1960s Marshall Clifton School. The architecture is a subtle but immediately recognisable nod to the existing school language, and the jury applauds this exceptionally conceived and executed project. Congratulations, Hassel. Well, congratulations indeed. And I'm joined now by David Gulland and the Hassel team. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the big team.
Excellent. Always good to get a bit of a whoop there. Now, David, I believe we spoke a year ago when Hassel won the named award in this very category again. So a very strong record in educational architecture projects, obviously. Can I start off by asking, what is it that you as a practice love about this typology?
I think the great thing about the education architecture area is there's so many different building typologies and so many different communities you're dealing with when you're putting those buildings together. So this one, for example, Balcatta, we had performing arts, we had science areas, we had general learning teaching areas, sports facilities, and the important things, you get a whole new bunch of kids coming through every year and experiencing an environment which we hope is going to be better than just the standard sort of way of doing things.
And have you had a response from the school and the students as to how they're enjoying this beautiful project?
Well, they really are enjoying it, and the principal out there, Helen and her team, Sharon and the rest, wonderful people and really good to work with all the way through. And on that client side, we had Ros Marsden from the Department of Education as well, very collaborative and very involved in the whole process, and they're a big part of the story of how the design ended up the way it was.
And is there anyone else that you'd like to acknowledge or thank who was involved?
It's a really big team of people, and there's a whole big bunch of our guys here sharing pizzas and wine, all about my best friends, I suppose, around. In particular, there's people like Sophie, James, Chris, Jill, Mark, for example. There's just a whole bunch of others as well who just put so much time and effort and energy into this project to just make it what it is across all phases of it being delivered. So it's a real testament to the way in which they work.
And before I let you go, do you have a message for the client if they're watching this evening?
Just like to say that, look, they're very modestly priced cost per square metre buildings, but they're incredibly important to the communities that they serve and the people that they deal with. So I think the more that the client can keep investing in great design to get the really great outcomes and not going to the lowest common denominator, the better the investment is to our wider community. So just encourage them to keep doing what they have been doing, but even more so.
Well, hear, and congratulations to you, to the entire team there, and indeed also to the client on this exceptional project. And on that note, I'll leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks very much, and thanks to the team. Give it a work.
And now to the two categories of heritage and small project architecture. And it's my pleasure to introduce Heritage category sponsor, the Honourable John Cowdell, Chair of the Heritage Council, to say a few words.
Hello, I'm pleased as Chair of the Heritage Council to participate in this awards ceremony. The Council is dedicated to maintaining and adapting WA's places of cultural heritage significance, connecting future generations with the unique identity of our state. The Council and the Institute share similar values, and we appreciate this opportunity to support WA's heritage industry. This year's nominee represents an outstanding example of heritage architecture. Let's take a look at the nominees for heritage architecture and small project architecture categories.
Fremantle Town Hall by Hocking Heritage and Architecture. Ephemeral Lookout by Li Yang Yang in collaboration with Nguyen Tien Kiem. Gathering Place by Penhale and Winter with Sandra Harbin. Ord Valley Aboriginal Health Service NDIS Centre by East Kimberley Design. And Willetton Library Refurbishment by Chindazi Architects. Thanks so much, John, and we'll begin with the announcement for Heritage. This jury was chaired by Stephen Carrick from Stephen Carrick Architects, and his fellow jurors were Nerida Mordaunt from Element Advisory and Lara Watson of Lara Watson Architect. And the jury have given an award for heritage to Fremantle Town Hall by Hocking Heritage and Architecture. Congratulations. This fine civic building on a prominent city centre location is designed in the Victorian free classical style. The architects have displayed considerable skill with the external conservation work, being respectful of and sympathetic to the town hall's heritage values, contributing to the wider Fremantle town centre. Congratulations, Hocking Heritage and Architecture. Moving on to the category of small project architecture, where the jury was chaired by Jonathan Lake from Gresley Abbas, Carl Greaves from Western Architecture Studio, Lee Simonton of Lee Simonton Architect and Curtin University, and Louise Ward from Hillam Architects. And they have awarded a commendation to Willetton Library Refurbishment by Chindazi Architects. Congratulations to Chindazi Architects. And the highest honour in the category of small project architecture, the Ivan Ivanoff Award, goes to Gathering Place by Penhale and Winter with Sandra Harbin. This highly considered and conceptually complete project, the product of co-authorship with Whadjuk Noongar elder Sandra Harbin, has produced a culturally rich and contextually sensitive design outcome. On each layer of inspection, from its overall siting to the final nuancing of its construction and installation, the team have achieved a high level of resolution and completeness in execution. Created as a love letter to place, it is a unique, sophisticated exercise in acknowledging the importance of traditional histories of place, through carefully constructed built form. Congratulations, Penhale and Winter with Sandra Harbin. And Shane, Drew and Sandra join me now, and I have to say you guys are winning my award for best response to realising that you've won the named award.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Now, look, I'm gathering from the response there that, obviously winning a named award is an enormous accomplishment, but I'm gathering there's a bit of emotion associated with this as well. What does it mean to you guys?
Oh, it's a real honour, Viv, thank you. To win an award named after Ivan Ivanov, one of our architectural heroes, and especially sort of pertinent to win it alongside Sandra Harbin, who's one of our sort of new heroes.
Yeah, I just said.
And can you give me a sense of? Sorry, Sandra, over to you.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying to Shane and Drew, I can't believe we're standing here and receiving this award. When I think back to, when we began the journey, we had no idea where we were going to end up. And this is just amazing. And I think that, I had the pleasure of working with two Dukic mum and two really clever men. So, Kaya, thank you.
I think this project for us has been as much a relationship with Sandra as has been the built outcome. So it's been a wonderful process for us to work with her and really form now a close friendship with Sandra. And for that, we're forever thankful.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful, guys. Now, can you give me a sense of what it was like to work on this project together as a team?
It was a joyful collaboration. We would meet sort of regularly on site for what was a series of sort of extended yarning sessions, and we would talk about family and friends and life, and occasionally we would talk about the project. And through that process, and Sandra's sort of great generosity and her sharing of stories and language and wisdom, we fashioned this little project that we're all so proud of.
And is there anyone in particular that you'd like to acknowledge who was also involved in the project?
Yeah, there certainly is. I guess firstly we'd like to thank the Fremantle Biennale who commissioned us to do the work, Tom Muller in particular. Also Grant Ravel, who was, I guess, our connection to Sandra. Also Craig Pedersen from ICS Australia, who was the contractor who constructed the work, him and his team. Techworks, who did the lighting, LT Lighting, and Todd Miller in particular. And Daniel Colley, who was working on the project with us for a period of time. And our partners. Of course. Mel and Gosha, putting up with us. Thank you, sweetheart.
Oh, well, look, well done to you and to everyone who was involved in this absolutely beautiful project. And thanks so much for being able to have a chat about it with us this evening. And I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you very much. Okay. Bye.
Well, moving on to interior architecture, and I'd like to acknowledge the jury, which was chaired by Catherine Ash from Vitino Ash, with Brendan Kelly from Hassel Studio and Dennis Silver from Cast Studio as fellow jurors. 11 projects were entered in this category. Let's take a look at the nominees. 251 Vista Green by Cox Architecture. EmAGN Headquarters, Leaderville by Woods Bagot. CBC Senior Hub by Site Architecture Studio. Eden Apartments by Hillam Architects. Haynes Charlie Perth Studio by Haynes Charlie. North Fremantle office fit-out by Western Architecture Studio. Open Book by Oriel Pierce Design. Rockingham Youth Centre by Site Architecture Studio. The Pad by Suzanne Hunt Architect. Walyalup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects, KHA. And Wolf Lane Office by Cox Architecture. And now to the announcements. The jury have awarded a commendation for interior architecture to Wolf Lane Office by Cox Architecture. Congratulations to the team at Cox Architecture. An award for interior architecture goes to The Pad by Suzanne Hunt Architect. The Pad is an exemplar downsizing project and a demonstration of a close collaboration between client and architect to redefine the experience of ageing in place. The level of coordination and integration of lighting is handled with a level of care that is indicative of the client-architect working relationship. Well, congratulations once again, Susie. And the jury have also given an award for interior architecture to Hames Charlie Perth Studio by Hames Charlie. The Hames Charlie Studio relocation is an astute, adaptive reuse project, showcasing the potential of underutilised first floor tenancies within the Perth CBD. The simplicity of and neutral material selections give the project a sense of balance and an overall order. Congratulations, Hames Charlie. And the highest honour in this category, the Julius Elisher Award for Interior Architecture, goes to Walyalup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects. The Walyalup Civic Centre carefully weaves complex programmatic requirements in a cohesive yet diverse approach, representing Fremantle's character. Users move in and around this finely crafted timber vessel, reminiscent of Fremantle's boating history. The space belonging to the public on the lower levels, whilst the upper levels host civic and council functions. This extraordinary exchange between the internal and external realms is further amplified through the continuity of a civic material approach with the stone-clad peripheral condition closely connected to Fremantle's heritage fabric. Congratulations once again, Kerry Hill Architects. Well, next up we have Sustainable Architecture, supported by Living Edge. The jury chair for this category was Leonie Matthews from Matthews McDonald Architects, and the fellow jurors were Eugene Hooks from Living Edge, Tobias Bush from Space Agency, and David McLaughlin from Development WA. And I'd like to hand over to Eugene Hooks from Living Edge to tell us who's in the running in this category.
Thanks, Viv. It's great to be partnering with the Institute and this award for a third consecutive year. To further emphasise Living Edge's alignment to the Sustainability Award, I'm proud to announce we have further reduced our operational carbon emissions and impact on the environment by 46% in the last reporting period. This year, 2 projects were entered in the Sustainable Architecture category. Walyalup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects and Willerton Library Refurbishment by Chindasi Architects. Both projects making a great contribution to WA, and on behalf of Living Edge, I'd like to wish both practices the best of luck. And now, over to you, Viv, for the announcement.
Thanks so much for that message, Eugene. And without any further ado, the jury have awarded a commendation for Sustainable Architecture to Walyalup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects. Congratulations once again. And we'll be back with the next round of announcements, the residential architecture categories, after these messages from the Institute's partners.
We're always on the lookout for new, exciting designs that really support workplace and the changing face of the workplace. It's becoming much more domesticised now. Each brand and even furniture that we look at has to meet some criteria. The first being its quality, and the sustainability aspect to the furniture, and the fact that we really strive to have timeless design in the pieces.
Now you can easily bring your projects to life with Dulux BIM Solutions. Dulux BIM Solutions provides easy-to-use BIM content, so you can add Dulux colours and product ranges to your Revit and ArchiCAD models quickly and simply. The latest Dulux BIM content update now includes the Dulux World of Colour and product ranges from Dulux powder coatings, protective coatings, Acrotex and Intergrain timber finishes. Dulux BIM Solutions, inspiring creativity.
The next three categories are for residential architecture, and we'll begin with multiple housing, supported by Dulux, who are not only national corporate partners of the Institute, but also great supporters of the WA chapter. So a very big shout out to Rana Schuller and the team at Dulux. Well, this jury was chaired by Dimity Walker from Space Agency, and she was joined by Rana Schuller from Dulux, Matt Delroy Carr from MDC Architects, Christopher Shaw from Kerry Hill Architects, and Claire Tyrrell from Business News. And to say a few words and introduce these entrants, I'd like to hand over to Graham Richards from Dulux.
Hi everyone, and thanks Viv. Dulux is proud of its long-standing relationship with the Institute over 25 years and as a national major partner for 15 consecutive years. Dulux is committed to the design industry, continually innovating and developing new products and colour solutions to further enhance the built environment, combined with our support of emerging architects with the Dulux Study Tour. We are thrilled to be part of tonight's awards program and would like to congratulate all the finalists and category award winners. And now, let's have a look at the 7 projects entered in residential architecture, multiple housing.
Alocasia Residences by Hillam Architects. Eden Apartments, also by Hillam Architects. Guildford Grammar School New Boarding House by With Architecture Studio. Parallel Apartments by Hillam Architects. Rocky Bay Girraween by KPA Architects. The Beach Shack by Plus Architecture. And Treehouse by MJA Studio. And there are 3 announcements in this category. The jury have awarded commendations for residential architecture multiple housing to Alocasia Residences by Hillam Architects and Treehouse by MJA Studio. Congratulations to the 2 project teams there. And the final announcement in this category is the highest honour, the Harold Krantz Award for Residential Architecture Multiple Housing, which is awarded to Guildford Grammar School New Boarding House by With Architecture Studio. The skill of the architects has delivered much more than 132 student accommodation rooms. Careful and intelligent planning is evident, prioritising views to the wetlands from common spaces, with well-resolved security and privacy considerations essential to a co-educational boarding facility. The integration of systems to monitor and reduce waste and energy consumption, with fresh air via opening windows to every room, makes for a masterful building that delivers on many fronts. Congratulations with Architecture Studio. And I am joined now by the team at With Architecture Studio, Jeff Warne and Daniel Asenson, and the team by the looks of things.
Hello, how are you?
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to receive this named award?
You go.
Very good. We're very happy to receive a residential award for a student accommodation project that we're very proud of.
For us, it's very special because it was one of our first significant projects as with Architecture Studio.
Oh, excellent. Well, the jury, as we heard there, said that this is about so much more than just some student accommodation, more than rooms. Can you give us a sense of what it was you were wanting to achieve with this project?
The project is a very complex project because the site drops like 13 metres and spans above the wetland. So there was a whole heap of constraints that we had to deal with. But more than anything, it really settles very well within the site, and on one hand integrates very well with the heritage setting of the campus, and on the other side expresses the boldness of the program and the client aspirations towards the wetland.
And have you had a sense from the client about how the boarders have embraced this project?
They were incredibly happy, and for us the satisfaction is to see one of the first co-ed boarding houses or new boarding houses, and the way it expresses now contemporary culture.
Simon made some very good comments in his introduction around the values of architecture, which tend to be kind of lost in our neoliberal era that we're going through. So, I mean, this project really does make the best of a beautiful landscape, which you can't deny, and an amazing heritage precinct. So it deals with heritage, our local heritage, our landscape, but then brings a fantastic living environment, inspiring for young people, and also introduces contemporary architecture into that mix. So a good piece of architecture brings all those things together, and I think that's what Simon's referring to. So I thank him for his inspiring comments.
Indeed, and I have asked some of the other practices this evening about what their hopes are for the long-term future of their projects. What do you hope the legacy is of this building?
The third wing.
The project was originally done for 200, or projected for 200 beds. So there was a third wing that due to COVID, etc., we had to shorten. So apart from that third wing, I guess for us, it really gave us the opportunity to support the client in the bold view, and all we hope is that this encourages clients to keep at it, and as David said, to keep engaging good architects through architectural competitions, because this was also a product of an architectural competition that was held by the client.
Wonderful. Well, look, before I let you go, do you have some quick thanks or people you'd like to acknowledge?
Yes, there are obviously the Guildford Grammar, our client, and David York, who is still in touch with us. Great support throughout the project. The contractor firm who stuck with the project, very difficult build, and also other members of the team that are no longer with us. like Andrew and Brad. Also Al Sealing, who was part of the design team for the competition. Josh here and John, who were also part of the competition, and of course the whole office, whole families, and teams, etc. It's fantastic.
Oh, wonderful. Well, look, on that note, a huge congratulations to you and the team. It looks like the party's about to get started there. So I'll let you guys go to enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Well, the next residential architecture category is alterations and additions. Yon Ni Chong from Ni & Co Architects was jury chair for this category, and fellow jurors were Michael Jorgensen from Brown Falconer and Mark Young from Hunt Architects. There are 5 projects in this category. Let's take a look. Doe Residence by Chindazi Architects. Federation Street by Clopper and Davis Architects. Higham Roadhouse by Philip Stayskill Architecture. Rule Street Additions by Officer Woods Architects. And Transition House by Craig Steer Architects. And the jury have awarded a commendation for residential architecture, alterations and additions to Rule Street Additions by Officer Woods Architects. Congratulations to Officer Woods Architects. And the highest honour that can be bestowed in this category, the Peter Overman Award for Residential Architecture, Alterations and Additions, is awarded to Higham Roadhouse by Philip Stayskill Architecture. Congratulations. The shared journey between client and architect in developing the design has resulted in a delightful and bespoke home, bursting with rich and varied spatial qualities. The project exhibits a care and love of maintaining rigour in all aspects of planning and detailing, and considerable thought has been invested in its making. The jury applauds Higham Roadhouse as a finely crafted and playful family home, accomplished in design and a joy to be in. Congratulations, Philip Stayskill Architecture. Well, congratulations indeed. And Philip Stayskill joins me now with the team. Congratulations, Phil.
Thanks very much. It's a wonderful honour to have won the award.
Well, you know, another year, another live cross to you. You are, you know, an architect of extremely high calibre, obviously. I think this is the 3rd year we've had a conversation in a row about one of your projects. But can I ask, what does it mean to receive the named award in this category?
I mean, it's a, as I said, a real honour. It's recognition, I guess, of the long journey that we've had on this project. Very close collaboration with our clients in particular. Friends of friends initially, and we started the journey when there were a couple, and they've now got 2 kids, so you can sort of appreciate the I guess the sort of nature of it. Beyond I guess that, we on this project more than any other possibly, we really engaged with a lot of other people who contributed to the project, who crafted. So the builder, Rob Hyde from Portrait Custom Homes, all the various trades, and metal worker, cabinet maker. So it really sort of came down to crafting this project together with people who are really good at what the specific thing that they do. And that was a real pleasure to work with the client and all those contributors.
And do you have a message for the clients?
Well, a message for the clients. Well, a message for the clients. You've put me this way. it was just a great pleasure, and we formed a real friendship over the years, I guess, and it's lovely to see them sort of occupy the home now with their 2 kids and grow into it. We continue to sort of stay in contact, and it's been a real pleasure to see them settle in, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, Phil. Well, look, on that note, I might let you go to, celebrate with the team there, maybe get on the phone and have a chat with the clients to congratulate them on living in an named award-winning home. Congratulations once again, and have a fabulous night.
Thanks very much.
And the final of the residential architecture categories is Houses New, supported by Bondor Techno. This jury was chaired by Beth George of Beth George Architect, and she was joined by Andrew Boyne from Western Architecture Studio and Gertchen Groen of Kerry Hill Architects. And I'd like to hand over to Andrew Walton from Bondor Techno to introduce the nominees in this category.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Viv. Bondor are extremely excited to support this award and category. This year we have a diverse and incredible mix of high calibre entrants. We wish you all the best of luck. There are 16 projects entered into this category. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Chan Residence, Dalkeith by Mountford Architects. Chester Street House by Nee & Co Architects. Claremont House by Lean House. Concrete House by Seamus Ryan Architects. D Residence by Carrier and Postmus Architects. Eagle Bay Holiday Home by Gantia Architecture and Design. Enclosed House 2 by Mork. Farmer Residence by Chindazi Architects. Haldane by Oriel Pierce Design. Infinity Views by Superseed Architecture. Jimmy's House by MJA Studio with Studio Rome and Iota. Clopper Residence by Clopper and Davis Architects. Maclay House by Paul Hoffman Architect. New residence in Glass and Steel by Woburn. Stone House by Suzanne Hunt Architect. And The Pad, also by Suzanne Hunt Architect. And there are 4 announcements in this category. First up, the jury have awarded a commendation for residential architecture Houses New to D Residence by Carrier and Postmus Architects. Congratulations, Carrier and Postmus Architects. An award for residential architecture Houses New goes to Enclosed House 2 by Mork. Described by the jury as a sanctuary for its occupants, this conceptually strong project curates a series of spaces around a central courtyard containing garden and sky. An atmosphere of quietude and a sculptural yet tactile quality is cultivated at all scales of the project, from its spatial organisation to its materiality and detailing. Congratulations, Mork! And the jury have also given an award in this category to Chester Street House by Nee & Co Architects. Accommodating 3 generations of family, Chester Street House integrates generous garden and outdoor spaces with light and voluminous interiors. Deftly arranged and delicately detailed, the architecture cultivates both seclusion and communal gathering, with a generous covered terrace and main living space forming the heart of the scheme. Congratulations, Nee & Co Architects. And the final announcement. The highest honour in this category is the Marshall Clifton Award for Residential Architecture Houses New, which goes to Jimmy's House by MJA Studio with Studio Rome and Iota. This exceptional house places conceptual and programmatic aspirations on equal footing with broader agendas: neighbourhood generosity, environmental performance and biodiversity. Configured around a courtyard, the project embodies passive environmental performance, creates more landscaped area than that of its site, and sustains a sociable dialogue with its neighbours in both form and materiality. The jury applauds this project as an exemplary approach to small-scale infill development. Congratulations, MJA Studio with Studio Rome and IOTA. And Jimmy Thompson joins me now. Jimmy, so glad we could make it for this second live cross. So good to see you.
Hey, Johnny. Glad to be
Well,
on board
look,
with you.
my first question... Yes, it's always good. My first question, Jimmy, has to be, is this actually your own home?
This is indeed my house. I'm a very lucky guy to be able to live here.
You are indeed. And look, the jury listed several incredible accomplishments in their citation that we heard there, not least of which was this project's contribution to its neighbourhood. But can you give us a sense of what you were hoping to achieve?
Oh, look, I think as designers and architects, we've got to practice what we preach. We talk about different types of density and, we've got to think about living smaller, living better, being more generous to neighbours, being polite to neighbours and doing density well. And just creating incredibly enjoyable living environments for the end user. That's our role and responsibility as architects.
Indeed, and the attribution for this project suggests that you had a few collaborators involved. Is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge?
We did, and I'd very much like to recognise Amy McDonald from IOTA, Sally Verts from Studio Rome, Mitch Hill and Luke Prune from Assemble Building Company, and also the landscape architects who had a major role in making sure that this could be a 100% green plot ratio project. So Bankshire and Lime and Acorn Design. So, it really was from the start a totally collaborative project, and one that we did, very much keeping in mind the context of neighbourhood, but also just trying to challenge the typology of the Battle Axe block and flip it on its side. And that's the great thing about this project, is the response from community and the way in which neighbours, dog walkers stop to have a chat with us when we're looking after the garden and talk about design, and we're able to bring them into the house and explain the why. We, as architects and designers, any opportunity to explain the why of what we do is critical for us to be embraced by the community at Broad. Indeed.
And Jimmy, can I ask what it's like to actually live in?
It's like being on holiday all the time. It's awesome. No, I've always lived in 100-year-old houses, so every day is just, it's very good. I'm spending a lot more time at home. I'm working less. All the things that I've been banging on to clients about for 15 years about why design matters, it's true. It's cool,
Oh, excellent. Well, look, thank you so much. I'm very, very glad we were able to get you on the line for this second cross. And look, congratulations to you and the team also for your win in the COLORBOND category. Sorry we weren't able to have a chat about that project earlier, but a big congratulations. And on that note, I'll leave you to go and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you. Cheers, everyone. Have a great night.
Now, each of the projects entered into the categories of residential architecture, houses new, and alterations and additions is eligible for the People's Choice Award, a chance for the people of WA to decide on what they consider to be the most exemplary project entered in these two categories. This year, several thousand members of the public engaged with the People's Choice Prize, quite a turnout. And without any further ado, the winner of the 2022 People's Choice Prize is Concrete House by Seamus Ryan Architects. Congratulations! And the lucky winner of the $300 voucher for the Perth State Buildings is David Willis. Congratulations, David. The WA chapter will be in touch with you in the coming days about your prize. Well, moving on to the Mondoluce Lighting Award, supported by Mondoluce. This jury was chaired by Mitchell Cook from Clopper and Davis Architects, and he was joined by Martin Claassen from Claassen Lighting Design, Rosie Norris from Tempo Studio, and Nicholas Petrazia from Plus Architecture. And I'd like to hand over to Jerry DeWind from Mondoluce to say a few words and introduce the projects in the running for this prestigious award.
Thank you, Viv, and hello everyone. Mondoluce is very proud to be your lighting partner once again. Mondoluce has been supporting the awards and the profession for over 23 years, a significant testament of our commitment to the profession. On behalf of Mondoluce, I would like to wish all entrants the very best. And now let's take a look at the nominations.
251 Vista Green by Cox Architecture. Concrete House by Seamus Ryan Architects. Infinity Views by Supersede Architecture. North Fremantle Office Fit Out by Western Architecture Studio. Open Book by Oriel Pierce Design. The Pad by Suzanne Hunt Architect. Walyalup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects, KHA. And Wolf Lane Office by Cox Architecture. Well, the jury have awarded a commendation to The Pad by Suzanne Hunt Architect. Congratulations once again, Suzanne Hunt Architect. And the 2022 Mondoluce Lighting Award goes to Wolf Lane Office by Cox Architecture. Set above the hustle and bustle of Murray Street and within the gritty context of Wolf Lane, this office refurbishment is an exceptional example of how lighting and architecture can work together to create something unique and truly memorable. The jury commends the strong collaboration between architecture, interior design and lighting design, evident in the technical resolution, overall feeling of the space and meticulous attention to detail. Congratulations to Cox Architecture once again. And we'll be back with the final round of announcements in just a moment after these messages from the Institute's corporate partners.
You know, the sun comes up every day, so if something happened to you that day, you know, the next day is going to be a new day and you just start off fresh. So that's one of the reasons why that summer sun colour is also good for me, but it's also the centre of our Aboriginal flag. So being able to share my culture through my art is something that I want to do, and teaching, you know, my daughters and my kids how to continue to do that as well.
Field is made.
Made for the contemporary.
Made for imagination.
Made for style.
Fielders made. Made for inspiration.
For more than 130 years, Bosch has designed products that spark enthusiasm, improve quality of life, and help conserve natural resources. We have built our reputation on design, quality, reliability, trust, and sustainability. In short, we want to create technology that is invented for life. With more than 200 international design awards attained over the past 5 years, Bosch is the clear leader in home appliances. Outstanding design requires both great form and function. For home appliances, invented for life means giving people peace of mind for their daily life at home.
Well, the announcements so far have celebrated recent work, but the next category recognises exceptional architecture completed at least 25 years ago that continues to be important today: enduring architecture. This category is supported by Bosch. The jury was chaired by Kate Hislop from the University of Western Australia, and the fellow jurors were Maxine Canning of Maxine Canning Architect and Adrian Iredale from Iredale Pedersen Hook. And I'd like to hand over to Richard Woodmason from Bosch to say a few words before we make the announcement.
Thanks, Viv, and hi everyone. We're delighted to be supporting the Enduring category at tonight's WA Architecture Awards. This category recognises exceptional buildings that have stood the test of time and made such a great contribution to Western Australia. On behalf of Bosch, we would like to wish everyone nominated in this category the very best of luck. And now, back to you, Viv, for the announcement.
Thank you so much for that message, Richard. And so, without any further ado, the 2022 Richard Roach Jewell Award for Enduring Architecture goes to Christchurch Grammar School Chapel by Hobbs, Winning and Leighton, and recent renovations by With Architects. Of outstanding merit, this is a building that not only endures but has been in constant use as the spiritual heart of the school for over 50 years. The respectfully designed renovations, most recently by With Architects, testify to the chapel's generous accommodation of growth and change. That it is so strong a marker in the lives of those connected to the school is the very definition of enduring. So too the fact that it anchors the school's future development plans. It is a delightful, quiet, uplifting architecture, emanating from masterful siting, formal simplicity, acoustic warmth and a majestic view. Naturally ventilated and thermally controlled, it is a building of artistry and intelligence, as appropriate for its use today as it was half a century ago. As such, it is a most worthy recipient of the 2022 Richard Roach Jewell Award for Enduring Architecture. Well, that brings us to the final of the main awards categories, Public Architecture, supported by Fielders. But coming up shortly, we have the EmAGN project and George Temple Poole Award announcements, so do stay tuned. The Public Architecture jury was chaired by Jane Wetherill from With Architecture Studio, and she was joined by Martin Asiata from Fielders, Marco Vittino from Vittino Ash, and Greg Howlett from Cox Architecture. On behalf of the Institute, I'd like to thank Fielders for their support of the awards program and give a very big shout out to the team who I know are watching tonight. So without any further ado, here are the 5 projects entered in Public Architecture. AGWA Elevate by AG and FJMT Studio. RFBYC Dinghy and Training Centre by MJA Studio. Rockingham Youth Centre by Site Architecture Studio. Stirling Street Arts Centre by Kent Lyon Architect. And Walyalup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects, KHA. Well, what a field of entrance in public architecture. And the jury have awarded 2 commendations, which go to RFBYC Dinghy and Training Centre by MJA Studio and AGWA Elevate by AG and FJMT Studio. Congratulations to the commendation recipients. Great projects there. And the highest honour in this category, the Geoffrey Howlett Award for Public Architecture, is awarded to Walyalup Civic Centre, once again by Kerry Hill Architects. Through a series of carefully considered historical, social, material and formal references, Walyalup Civic Centre responds to and addresses its surrounding context by establishing a clear language reflective of its civic function. The building encourages and reinforces public engagement through the integration of a community lawn, sunken gardens, transparency and permeability. The jury applauds this project, which celebrates the notion of democracy and invites the community deep within the central functions of the building. Congratulations once again to Kerry Hill Architects. Well, the third named award of the evening. Congratulations indeed to Kerry Hill Architects. Well, the next announcement is a new initiative of the Emerging Architects and Graduate Network, known as EmAGN. The EmAGN Project Award is a celebration of a project that has come about through the contributions of early career architects in areas such as leadership, collaboration, application of expertise and quality of architecture. There are 5 projects in the running for this inaugural award. Let's take a look at who's in the running. Ephemeral Lookout by Li Yang Yang in collaboration with Nguyen Tien Kien. Gathering Place by Penhale and Winter with Sandra Harben. Infinity Views by Supersede Architecture. Ord Valley Aboriginal Health Service NDIS Centre by East Kimberley Design. And Rockingham Youth Centre by Site Architecture Studio. Well, a great range of nominees indeed. This jury was chaired by Jonathan Lake from Gresley Abass, and he was joined by Beth George of Beth George Architect and Jane Wetherill from With Architecture Studio. And the inaugural EmAGN Project Award is awarded to Rockingham Youth Centre by Site Architecture Studio. Congratulations. The City of Rockingham's new Community Youth Centre has transformed a mundane, unloved and substandard commercial tilt-up building into a thriving and delightful contemporary youth hub. Although modest in scale, the project required negotiation of many unforeseen challenges during the design and construction phases. Shortcomings were creatively resolved with enthusiasm and commitment by the project team, who have delivered an inspired outcome for the city and an important community facility for Rockingham youth. Congratulations, Site Architecture Studio. And Naomi McCabe and the team from Site Architecture Studio are joining me now. Hey guys, congratulations. How does it feel?
It's great, thank you.
That's good. Yeah, we need some applause, people. You've earned it. Well, the jury there referred to this project as once mundane and unloved, Naomi. Look, can you give us a sense of the scale of the transformation that you've brought about with this project?
Yeah, we were tasked with something pretty atrocious to begin with. It was basically a concrete tilt panel building that lacked any kind of street appeal. It had, basically nothing. It looked like a prison from the outside. It had red neon lights. It had everything, non-compliant on every level. So yeah, it was a big challenge.
And what was it like for you guys to bring about this fantastic result?
We're really proud of it. The whole team worked really hard. We had a fantastic client with the City of Rockingham. They let us just run with it. We worked really closely with both the city, the youth reference group, so a lot of the youth got involved in a lot of the decisions, so we brought them along for the ride, and the outcome is a true result of really strong collaboration both within our team and from the city and the end users, and they're as happy with it as we are.
Oh, that's awesome. You've mentioned some of the people there who were involved in the project. Is there anyone else that you'd like to acknowledge in particular, Naomi?
Well, all of my team here, our project director, Poole, who isn't with us tonight, but yeah, he gave me a great opportunity, obviously, to run this as a sort of a graduate, so that was a fantastic opportunity for me and our client, the City of Rockingham, our consultants and the contractor who was pretty invested in delivering a good outcome as well.
And Mustachio Man, who's somewhere in Croatia at the moment.
Aaron. We have another staff member who's, luckily sailing around Croatia at the moment.
Lucky him. Now, Naomi, this prize This inaugural award is all about recognising the achievements of early career architects. Can I ask you, what does it mean to be able to have those achievements recognised through this particular award?
I mean, we're really proud to be the inaugural winner of that. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, it's really great to sort of know that as a practice we're doing the right thing and that we are a really collaborative office, and we've all worked pretty hard as a group of graduates to deliver this project. So I think it's been a really great testament to all of my team as well.
Yeah, and I think it's great of the Institute that they're recognising the contributions of young architects and celebrating them, because it's a very hard industry to kind of get your break in, and we're a young practice and we're all enthusiastic and work our butts off, and I think it's important to acknowledge that young people can make a real difference and in their careers up and coming. So again, we thank the Institute for this as well.
Well, here on that note, congratulations to you all for such a fantastic project and a great result for the people of Rockingham. And on that note, I'll leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your night there. And now to the final announcement, the George Temple Poole Award. The most esteemed accolade that can be bestowed on architecture in WA, each of the named award-winning projects are considered for this prestigious award. The jury was chaired by Simon Pendal, and he was joined by Sandy Anghie, Kim McDonald from the West Australian, and Finn Pedersen from Iredale Pedersen Hook. And now to make the announcement, it's my pleasure to hand over to Jessica Stojakovski, MLA, Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Transport, Planning and Ports.
Good evening. I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet tonight, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and pay my respect to elders past, present and emerging. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to participate in the West Australian Architecture Awards for 2022, even if it is in a virtual capacity. I'm particularly pleased to be announcing the George Temple Poole Award. Architecture has always played a critical role in the development of our communities, and perhaps more so today in the face of new and emerging challenges. As a government, we are working hard to boost the supply of housing in our communities to meet the changing needs of our communities, particularly in the metro area, through increased density and diversity. The COVID pandemic has also caused us to rethink how we design our homes, with more of a focus on airflow, natural light, and of course, spaces to work. As we know, climate change has had a big impact on how we design, with sustainable homes being at the forefront of design for now and in the future. Your visions, ability and innovation will continue to significantly address these issues in the future. Now it is my great pleasure to announce the winner of the prestigious George Temple Poole Award. And the winner is the Whaleyup Civic Centre by Kerry Hill Architects. Congratulations.
Whaleyup Civic Centre is an exceptional project, recognised already through the award of the highest honours in interior architecture, urban design and public architecture. Quietly resolving its complex brief, it connects street to square, while a lawn offers civic space to meet, whether in celebration or protest. Entry occurs naturally, an internal loop at grade, connecting library, reading room, reception counter and civic foyer, while outside one sees another loop onto an all-weather veranda and directly to the council chambers, where local matters are contested and resolved in the gaze of the townspeople. Experiencing this sequence of sequences appears so simple and self-evident it could be mistaken as being inevitable or easy. This is the great achievement of Kerry Hill Architects, that with elegance, exactitude and purpose it has been realised. Congratulations once again to Kerry Hill Architects. Well, indeed. Congratulations once again. And Patrick, Sean and the team are back for their second live cross, many named awards later. Congratulations. Well done. Now, since we last spoke, this project has gone on to receive named awards for interior architecture and public architecture. Clearly a very strong contender for the George Temple Poole Award this year. But can I ask, what does it mean to the practice to receive this highest accolade?
We're a bit speechless, actually. Look, this is, obviously, we've worked on this project for 8 years. I think everyone out there who participates in this awards program knows that you don't get an award like this without the trifecta of a really committed client, a really committed builder, and a really committed architect. I'll probably add one more to that, a really committed interior architect with Anna. So look, I think, we're fortunate in that those stars aligned with this project. Also an amazing site, the potential for a transformative urban project, so a competition winning scheme. Look, it's we're really great. It's ended in with this award, and it's a really fantastic end to that journey.
Now, I noted in the jury citations that we've heard this evening, there have been some recurring themes, among them Fremantle's heritage fabric, the way you've engaged the community, and of course, celebrating the idea of democracy. I was just wondering if you'd like to pick up on any of those comments that the juries have made throughout the course of the evening.
Yeah, look, Fremantle's an important place for us. Our office is here in Fremantle. Many of our staff work here in Fremantle and live here, and we walk past this place every day. So it's a really important place to us, and to have that ability to engage with our city here in Fremantle on such a personal level and such a daily basis has been fantastic. Even throughout the project, just being able to wander past the project on a daily basis. So look, we've always found that 10 years ago, Fremantle was a very different place. People like Brad Pettit really wanted to make a difference here. And this project was initiated really through a council that Brad was the mayor of. And, there was other people along the way, Russell Kingdom, who was the project director, and Graham Tattersall, who was the director of infrastructure at Fremantle. The council, the client, really wanted to have this transformative project within this city centre. It's part of a larger precinct development, Walyalup Court, and the Civic Centre is really just one piece of this complex puzzle that is Fremantle, which will continue to evolve. It has this history, this gold rush history of heritage fabric, which is really important to Western Australia, and we wanted to create an architecture that sat comfortably within that heritage, but also spoke of our own contemporary times. And hopefully this recognition has shown that we have done that.
Well, the jury's certainly effusive in their praise, and can I just congratulate you, the team, everyone involved in this exceptional project on such an incredible gift for the people, not only of Fremantle, but also Western Australia.
Thanks, Viv. Could I just also thank the jury, Simon, Finn, Sandy and Kim. Look, we really respect them as peers and practitioners, and it's we really thank them a lot for this award. Thank you.
And I'd also just again like to thank our team that delivered it, Anna, Hirchin, Ryan, but we had the wider team within the office, and there's been many hands have touched this project, and that's important, and it's important that many minds have influenced the design as it's got to where it's got to today. But I guess this guy behind us here as well, he's sitting in the shadows, was the builder with Pendal, and Pendal got into a bit of trouble during the project, and he stayed with the project, with the city of Fremantle. And this is Logan Joyce, who was the project manager for the contractor, and a very good mind in terms of understanding architecture and how things are put together.
Wonderful. Well, look, thank you so much for speaking to us again. Congratulations. And on that note, guys, I will let you go and have a fantastic night.
Thank you.
And now to say a few words before we wrap up, I'd like to hand over to the WA State Manager, Adam Johnson-Kane, who sent through this message.
Wow, what a year for projects. I'd like to personally thank everybody for your contributions this year to make the WA Chapter Awards happen. And what a roll call it is. Our national and local state sponsors who play a huge part in helping us to make this event possible for our members. Our dedicated volunteer juries for their precious time spent in presentations, site visits and deliberations. The amazing architects and all their beautiful project entries. Our members for their continued support and interaction with the WA Chapter Awards. And everyone that got involved and voted for the People's Choice Award. Of course, all our hard-working and diligent Institute staff, both from our local chapter and national teams, for the huge amount of support and work that goes into the production of the event. And last but not least, a big, big thank you to Viv and the team. Congratulations to all the winners and commendations tonight. Well done. We look forward to celebrating in person with you tomorrow night at the awards after party. If you haven't secured a ticket yet, you can check availability at www.architecture.com on the WA Chapter Events page. Thanks again, everyone. Have an amazing night.
Thanks so much, Adam. And that brings the announcements to a close. Congratulations once again to the winning practices this evening and all of the entrants. And of course to all of the clients who've commissioned the work that we've seen this evening. I'd like to take this opportunity to once again thank the corporate partners and sponsors for their ongoing support of the Institute and the awards program. It's great to have you in the show, and thanks so much for all of your messages this evening. And I'd also like to give a shout out to award-winning Australian furniture designer Tom Skean, who has kindly supplied the furniture for our set. Nice to be out from behind a desk this year. And just a reminder that we're streaming Architecture Awards every week over the next several weeks. We have South Australia next Thursday night, and on Friday, the Victorian Architecture Awards. You'll find the details on the Institute's website. In the meantime, to the WA members, have a great time tomorrow night. It's been a pleasure to be your host. To everyone, wherever you may be, have a great evening.
You've been watching the 2022 Western Australian Architecture Awards, proudly supported by BlueScope and Taubmans, Alspec, Dulux and Brickworks, Bondor Metechno, Lysart, Fielders and Bosch, Plan Cover and Architecture Media, as well as the WA Chapter Partners, Rondo, Midland Brick, Mondoluce, Living Edge, FMC Homeguard and the Heritage Council.